Have you ever found yourself sinking into your favorite chair for hours, reaching for that extra snack, or staying up late scrolling through your phone, only to wonder if these habits are silently affecting your health? You're not alone. In today's video, we'll uncover 5 everyday habits that could be quietly jeopardizing your well-being. From prolonged sitting to negative mindsets, we'll explore how these common behaviors impact your health and share simple, effective changes you can make to lead a healthier, happier life. Stay with us until the end, because the tips we'll reveal could transform the way you live and help you achieve lasting wellness. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Habit 1. Prolonged sitting. In today's fast-paced modern world, prolonged sitting has unfortunately become a silent killer of our health. Many of us spend hours glued to our desks, lost in the never-ending demands of work, unaware of the devastating toll it takes on our bodies. What seems like an innocent habit, sitting for extended periods, while working, watching TV, or even scrolling on our phones, can lead to some of the most serious health consequences imaginable. We might not feel it immediately, but inactivity is eroding our well-being from the inside out. It's a slow and insidious problem that quietly chips away at our health until we're left dealing with issues we never anticipated. The damage begins with our spines, which bear the brunt of endless sitting. Over time, this constant pressure weakens our posture, leading to stiffness, discomfort, and eventually chronic pain that becomes a part of daily life. It's shocking to realize how much our spines, these crucial pillars of our bodies, suffer simply because we've gotten used to staying seated for too long. Poor posture over the years not only causes back pain, but can also change the very alignment of the spine, leading to conditions that may require intervention or surgery. And the worst part, this isn't just a problem for the elderly. It starts affecting people of all ages, including young professionals in their prime. But back pain is just the beginning. When we sit for prolonged periods, our bodies become less efficient at burning calories, slowing down our metabolism and making it easier to gain weight. This weight gain might happen gradually, but it quickly leads to a host of problems: obesity, heart disease, and diabetes, to name a few. It's frightening how something as simple as sitting could open the floodgates to such health problems. We all know how dangerous obesity can be, but the connection between sitting and obesity often flies under the radar. The sedentary lifestyle is truly a hidden danger lurking in the shadows of modern life. Even more unsettling is the fact that the effects of prolonged sitting ripple far beyond just the physical. It's not just our bodies that take a hit, our minds do too. Prolonged inactivity has been shown to slow down cognitive function. Well, think about that. Every hour we spend sitting, our brains might be becoming less sharp, less capable of handling complex tasks, and less able to retain information. It's terrifying to think that sitting too long could be dimming the very sharpness of our minds. The sedentary lifestyle has been linked to a higher risk of developing cognitive diseases like dementia and Alzheimer's. When you truly pause and reflect on that, it's clear that the stakes are much higher than we might realize. Our muscles are another casualty in this battle against sitting. They weaken and deteriorate over time due to lack of use. What does that mean for us in the long term? We lose balance, flexibility, and strength, key components of maintaining independence and good quality of life as we age. Even simple tasks like walking upstairs or carrying groceries can become challenges. Our once strong and capable bodies gradually become fragile and prone to injury. This is one of the most tragic outcomes of prolonged sitting. The very thing that's supposed to keep us comfortable is stealing our ability to move freely. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Moreover, our circulatory system suffers greatly when we sit for too long. Without regular movement, blood circulation slows down, increasing the risk of blood clots, particularly in the legs. The term sitting disease isn't an exaggeration. Remaining sedentary for long periods can lead to deep vein thrombosis, default, a serious and sometimes life-threatening condition where blood clots form in the veins. It's frightening to think that something as passive as sitting can have such dire consequences, but the danger doesn't stop there. Reduced blood circulation also contributes to other problems like varicose veins, swelling, and a general feeling of heaviness in the legs. Even our heart takes a hit. Prolonged sitting has been linked to a higher risk of cardiovascular disease, heart attacks, and strokes. What's equally concerning is how prolonged sitting affects our digestive system. When we're inactive for extended periods, our digestive systems slow down, which can lead to uncomfortable issues like constipation, bloating, and indigestion. Regular movement helps our bodies process food efficiently, but without it, our gut health suffers. We might brush off minor digestive issues as no big deal, but over time they can lead to more serious complications that require medical intervention. When you think about it, prolonged sitting is truly a ticking time bomb. The health risks are not just limited to minor aches and pains. They extend to the very core of our well-being, our heart, our muscles, our digestion, and even our minds. If we don't take action, we're setting ourselves up for a lifetime of health problems that could have been prevented with a few small lifestyle changes. It's both terrifying and empowering to realize that, because while the consequences of prolonged sitting are serious, they are not inevitable. The good news is that it's never too late to start reversing the damage. Fortunately, there are simple, practical steps we can take to combat the effects of prolonged sitting and regain control of our health. The first step is acknowledging the problem, understanding that even though sitting feels comfortable, it's putting our bodies at risk. From there, we can start incorporating movement into our daily lives in small but meaningful ways. And one of the easiest ways to do this is by setting a timer to remind ourselves to stand up and stretch every hour. It might sound insignificant, but these small stretches and movements can help improve blood circulation, reduce muscle stiffness, and keep our bodies active throughout the day. Another great option is investing in a standing desk or adjustable workstation, which allows you to alternate between sitting and standing while you work. It's a simple change that can make a world of difference for your posture, energy levels, and overall health. You can also take regular breaks to walk around, even if it's just for a few minutes. Taking phone calls while standing or walking, doing light stretches during TV commercials, or taking a short walk after meals are all great ways to stay active without interrupting your day. These small adjustments add up to big benefits over time. By breaking the cycle of inactivity, we can prevent the long-term health risks associated with prolonged sitting and create a more active, vibrant lifestyle. Not only will our bodies thank us, but our minds will also benefit from increased energy, focus, and mental clarity. After all, when we take care of our physical health, we nurture our mental and emotional well-being too. In the end, it's about making a conscious decision to prioritize our health. We can no longer afford to overlook the dangers of prolonged sitting. Our future happiness and quality of life depend on the choices we make today. It's time to stand up, literally, and take control of our health before it's too late. Because we deserve to live strong, active, and fulfilling lives, free from the burden of preventable health problems. Let's not wait until the damage is irreversible. Let's start now, one step at a time, toward a healthier, more vibrant future. Habit 2, negative mindset. Our mindset is one of the most powerful tools we have, yet it can also be one of the most destructive forces when left unchecked. The thoughts we allow to dominate our minds shape not only our emotions, but also our physical health and overall well-being. A negative mindset, often fueled by pessimism, fear, and anxiety, can have devastating consequences that go far beyond just feeling down. It can slowly chip away at the very foundation of our health, leaving us vulnerable in ways we may not even realize. The mind-body connection is a phenomenon that has been studied and proven time and time again. When we focus on negativity, when we dwell on worst-case scenarios, criticize ourselves, or fixate on fears, our bodies respond in powerful ways. The simple act of entertaining negative thoughts floods our systems with stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which over time can wreak havoc on our health. Imagine this: each time you allow stress or pessimism to linger in your mind, you are effectively weakening your immune system. Your body becomes less capable of defending itself, leaving you more susceptible to colds, infections, and even more serious illnesses. And it doesn't stop there. This constant flood of stress chemicals can also increase your risk of chronic conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and high blood pressure. It's frightening how much power our mindset holds over our physical health. What makes this so alarming is that a negative mindset can become self-perpetuating. When you're constantly bombarded with negative thoughts, your body lives in a state of chronic stress. This makes it difficult to fight off even the smallest of infections, let alone the larger health issues that may arise. And what happens when you're not feeling physically well? You become more tired, more irritable, and unsurprisingly, more negative. It's a vicious cycle where poor mental health directly leads to poor physical health, which in turn feeds back into more negativity. It's easy to see how someone can get stuck in this downward spiral, feeling powerless to break free. Beyond its direct impact on our health, a negative mindset can deeply influence the choices we make every day. When we are consumed by pessimistic thoughts or a general feeling of hopelessness, we tend to engage in behaviors that are detrimental to our well-being. Emotional eating is one common response when faced with emotional pain, stress, or anxiety. Many people turn to unhealthy comfort foods, and while they may provide temporary relief, they also contribute to weight gain and a host of other health problems, from high cholesterol to diabetes. It's a tragic irony that the very behaviors we engage in to cope with emotional distress often exacerbate the problems we're trying to avoid. Additionally, chronic stress and negativity can severely disrupt our sleep. Insomnia becomes a constant companion, leaving us exhausted and depleted, further feeding our negative emotions. The fatigue makes it harder to find the motivation to exercise, prepare healthy meals, or engage in activities that could improve our mood. This lack of self-care creates a snowball effect, as one poor choice leads to another, and before we know it, we're trapped in a cycle of unhealthy living both physically and mentally. It's heartbreaking to think that this cycle could go on for years without us even fully realizing the damage it's doing. But here's the good news: a negative mindset doesn't have to be a life sentence. There are ways to break free from the grip of negativity and regain control over your thoughts, your emotions, and ultimately, your health. The first step is acknowledging the power of your thoughts and understanding how they influence your overall well-being. Once you recognize this, you can begin taking steps to shift your mindset toward a more positive, healthy, and productive state of mind. And one of the most effective strategies for overcoming a negative mindset is practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness teaches us to be fully present, to observe our thoughts without judgment, and to gently redirect our focus when we notice negativity creeping in. It's about becoming aware of those automatic negative thoughts and choosing not to engage with them. And instead of spiraling into despair over a stressful situation, mindfulness allows us to take a step back, breathe, and respond calmly. This practice can significantly reduce stress levels, improve mental clarity, and bring a sense of peace to your daily life. Alongside mindfulness, positive thinking exercises can transform the way you see yourself and the world around you. Engaging in daily affirmations, positive statements that reinforce your self-worth and capabilities can gradually shift your mindset toward optimism. And telling yourself, "I am strong, I am capable," or "I can handle anything that comes my way" may feel strange at first, but over time, these words can become a new narrative that replaces the negative thoughts you once believed. Gratitude journaling is another powerful tool. When we are consumed by negativity, it's easy to overlook the good that exists in our lives. Taking a few minutes each day to write down what you're grateful for, no matter how small, can refocus your mind on the positive. This simple practice shifts your perspective from scarcity to abundance, reminding you that despite challenges, there is always something to be thankful for. It's amazing how something as small as appreciating a cup of coffee, a conversation with a friend, or a moment of sunshine can transform your outlook and brighten your day. Cultivating a positive mindset also opens the door to better health choices. When we think positively, we are more likely to feel motivated to take care of ourselves. Exercise no longer feels like a chore, but an opportunity to nurture our bodies. Eating healthy meals becomes a form of self-love rather than a restriction. We prioritize sleep, knowing that rest is essential for both our physical and emotional well-being. Little by little, we replace unhealthy habits with nourishing ones, and the cycle of negativity is broken. What's truly profound about this process is that it doesn't just improve your mental health, it transforms your entire life. Your entire life. When you shift your mindset, your relationships improve, your stress levels decrease, and your overall sense of happiness and fulfillment grows. You start attracting positive experiences in people, creating a ripple effect of well-being that touches every aspect of your life. In the end, the key to overcoming a negative mindset is recognizing that we have the power to change it. It may not happen overnight, and it will require effort, but the rewards are worth it. We deserve to live lives filled with joy, health, and purpose. And it all starts with our mindset. Let's commit to being kinder to ourselves, to embracing positivity, and to taking control of our thoughts so that we can live the lives we truly deserve. Because when we change our minds, we change our world. Habit 3. Staying up late. In the hustle and bustle of modern life, staying up late has almost become a badge of honor. We stretch our nights longer and longer, convinced that more hours awake means more productivity, more time for ourselves, or just an escape from the demands of the day. But the truth is, staying up late is doing far more harm than we might realize. Each time we push past our natural sleep patterns, we're not only fighting against our body's biological clock, we're setting ourselves up for a host of serious consequences that ripple through our health, emotions, and overall quality of life. Our bodies are beautifully designed to follow a rhythm known as the circadian clock. This internal timekeeper regulates everything from our sleep-wake cycles to hormone levels, digestion, and even mood. When we consistently stay up late, we throw this delicate balance out of whack, disrupting the production of crucial hormones like melatonin, which controls sleep, and cortisol, which manages our stress response. What many of us don't realize is that this disruption is more than just an inconvenience. It's a hormonal chaos that can lead to long-term damage. Hormones play such an essential role in regulating every system in our body, and when we tamper with them by ignoring our natural sleep-wake cycle, we set the stage for a cascade of health problems. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know that you are still here with me. For starters, staying up late and losing sleep wreaks havoc on our immune system. Have you ever noticed how, after a few sleepless nights, you suddenly catch a cold or feel under the weather? That's no coincidence. Lack of sleep compromises your body's ability to fight off infections and repair itself, leaving you more vulnerable to illnesses. And it doesn't stop there. Chronic sleep deprivation messes with your metabolism, making it easier to gain weight and much harder to lose it. It throws off the balance of hunger hormones, making you crave unhealthy foods at odd hours and contributing to weight gain, which in turn increases your risk of developing serious conditions like diabetes and heart disease. It's frightening to think that something as simple as staying up late can lead to such profound consequences. But that's the reality many of us are facing. But perhaps one of the most distressing consequences of staying up late is the toll it takes on our mental health. Sleep and mental well-being are deeply intertwined. Without adequate sleep, our brains struggle to function optimally, leading to a range of emotional and cognitive issues. Anxiety levels skyrocket when we don't get enough rest, and depression can creep in more easily. It's like walking around in a fog. Everything feels harder, more overwhelming, and less manageable. Decision-making becomes impaired, memory falters, and it becomes increasingly difficult to focus on even the simplest of tasks. We've all had those days where we feel irritable, forgetful, and just off after a bad night's sleep. But imagine that feeling multiplied over weeks, months, or even years. That's the reality for millions of people who consistently prioritize staying up late over getting the rest their bodies and minds desperately need. The consequences of staying up late extend far beyond a groggy morning. Poor sleep diminishes our ability to think clearly, react quickly, and make sound decisions. Studies have shown that sleep deprivation impairs cognitive function as severely as being drunk. Imagine going through your day, trying to perform at your best, but with the cognitive equivalent of having consumed several alcoholic drinks. It's no wonder that poor sleep is linked to accidents, poor work performance, and strained relationships. What's even more concerning is the long-term impact of chronic sleep deprivation on our mental health. Over time, consistently staying up late can contribute to the development of anxiety disorders, depression, and even an increased risk of developing neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. It's heartbreaking to think that something as avoidable as staying up late could have such dire consequences on our minds and our quality of life. But the science is clear: sleep is essential for maintaining a healthy brain and a stable mood. So how do we break this cycle of staying up late and start prioritizing our health? The answer lies in establishing better sleep habits, or what's often referred to as sleep hygiene. Creating a sleep routine that supports our body's natural rhythms can make a world of difference in how we feel, both physically and mentally. It all starts with consistency. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends, helps reinforce our circadian rhythm, making it easier to fall asleep and wake up feeling refreshed. Our bodies crave routine, and by sticking to a schedule, we help our internal clock function smoothly. Another crucial step is creating a calming bedtime ritual. The way we transition from the chaos of the day to the peace of sleep is important. Activities like reading a book, practicing gentle stretching, or engaging in relaxation exercises like deep breathing or meditation can help signal to your body that it's time to wind down. This intentional period of calm allows your mind and body to shift gears, preparing you for restful sleep. Equally important is limiting exposure to screens before bed. The blue light emitted by phones, tablets, and computers interferes with the production of melatonin, the hormone that regulates sleep. When we stare at screens late into the night, we're essentially telling our brains that it's still daytime, making it harder to fall asleep when we finally do put the devices away. Aim to turn off screens at least an hour before bed and replace that time with relaxing, screen-free activities that promote a sense of calm. Incorporating these practices into your daily routine can dramatically improve the quality of your sleep and, as a result, enhance every aspect of your health and well-being. When we sleep well, we give our bodies the time they need to repair and regenerate. Our immune systems function optimally, our hormones stay balanced, and our minds are clear and focused. Sleep truly is the foundation upon which our physical and mental health is built. At the end of the day, it's about making a conscious decision to prioritize sleep over the distractions and pressures that tempt us to stay up late. We have to recognize that sleep is not a luxury, but a necessity. It's an investment in our future well-being, our relationships, and our happiness. By breaking the habit of staying up late, we can reclaim our energy, improve our health, and live more vibrant, fulfilling lives. In the end, no amount of late-night productivity or entertainment is worth sacrificing the most essential component of a healthy, happy life: rest. Habit 4. Overeating. Overeating is a habit that often creeps up on us, quietly becoming part of our daily routine without us even realizing it. Whether it's indulging in an extra serving at dinner, snacking mindlessly in front of the TV, or giving in to emotional cravings, overeating is something many of us struggle with. Yet, despite how common it is, the long-term impact of overeating on our health can be deeply alarming. What may seem like harmless indulgence today could pave the way for significant health challenges down the road. Our bodies are finely tuned machines, and they function best when given the right amount of fuel. But when we consistently consume more calories than our bodies need, the excess energy gets stored as fat, slowly leading to weight gain. This is where the vicious cycle begins. The more we overeat, the harder it becomes for our bodies to maintain balance, and we start to experience a host of problems. Bloating, acid reflux, indigestion, and discomfort after meals become common, making us feel sluggish and heavy. Over time, this repeated strain on the digestive system can lead to more serious gastrointestinal issues. However, the consequences of overeating reach far beyond digestive discomfort. Obesity is one of the most obvious outcomes, but the dangers lurking beneath the surface are even more concerning. With each pound of extra weight, we inch closer to life-threatening conditions like type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and hypertension. So our hearts are forced to work harder, our blood pressure rises, and our risk of suffering a stroke increases. It's heartbreaking to think that something as seemingly innocent as overeating can lead to such catastrophic health outcomes. Yet, it's a reality millions of people face, often without realizing how much their eating habits are contributing to their health decline. What's even more frightening is how overeating can trap us in a never-ending cycle. Often overeating isn't just about hunger, it's about emotional triggers, stress, or even boredom. We eat to comfort ourselves after a rough day, to distract from anxiety, or to reward ourselves for small victories. But this type of emotional eating only leads to more problems. We feel guilty or uncomfortable after consuming too much, but instead of breaking the pattern, we seek comfort in food once again. It's a vicious cycle that feels impossible to escape, one that affects not only our physical health but our emotional well-being as well. Recent research sheds even more light on the dangers of overeating. A study published in Obesity reveals that overeating can lead to changes in the brain that make it harder to control hunger and cravings. This means that the more we overeat, the more difficult it becomes to resist future temptations. So our brains become wired to seek out more food even when we're not hungry. It's as if overeating reprograms our bodies to demand more and more, creating a snowball effect that becomes harder to stop as time goes on. And this makes the prospect of weight loss or healthy living feel like an uphill battle, one that's not only physically draining but emotionally exhausting as well. But the good news is, just like any other habit, overeating can be addressed and overcome. One of the most effective ways to combat overeating is through mindful eating. This approach encourages us to slow down and focus on the experience of eating, paying attention to our hunger and fullness cues rather than eating mindlessly. So often we eat while distracted, whether it's scrolling through our phones, watching TV, or simply rushing through a meal. Mindful eating asks us to pause, to savor each bite, and to truly listen to what our bodies are telling us. Are we eating because we're hungry or because we're stressed? Are we full or are we eating out of habit? One powerful tool for mindful eating is portion control. Serving smaller portions on smaller plates can make a huge difference. This simple trick helps us feel satisfied without overindulging. When we take the time to enjoy our food slowly, we give our bodies the chance to recognize when we're full, allowing us to stop eating before we reach the point of discomfort. In a world where we're often encouraged to eat quickly or consume more than we need, portion control and slow, intentional eating can feel like a breath of fresh air. Additionally, tuning into our emotional state before we eat is crucial. Are we using food to fill an emotional void? If so, we need to find healthier ways to cope with those feelings. Whether it's journaling, taking a walk, or calling a friend, finding non-food related ways to deal with stress or anxiety is essential to breaking the cycle of overeating. By practicing gratitude for our meals and viewing food as nourishment rather than a coping mechanism, we can begin to build a healthier relationship with what we eat. It's also important to recognize that overeating doesn't just affect our weight or our physical appearance. It impacts our overall well-being. So when we overeat, we often feel sluggish, tired, and even guilty. Our self-esteem takes a hit, and we may become frustrated with ourselves for not being able to control our habits. This emotional toll can lead to even more emotional eating, perpetuating the cycle. But by embracing mindful eating and making small, manageable changes to our habits, we can reclaim control over our health and happiness. In the end, the key to overcoming overeating is compassion. We need to be gentle with ourselves, understanding that breaking a habit takes time and effort. It's not about perfection, but about progress. By taking small steps, like practicing portion control, eating mindfully, and addressing emotional triggers, we can gradually shift our relationship with food. As we do, we'll not only see improvements in our physical health, but we'll also feel lighter, happier, and more in control of our lives. The journey to overcoming overeating is one of self-discovery and empowerment, one that leads to a healthier, more balanced, and more fulfilling life. Habit 5. Smoking. Smoking. When we think of smoking, most of us immediately associate it with lung problems. Images of damaged lungs, persistent coughs, and scary warnings about lung cancer come to mind. But the truth is that smoking is far more insidious and affects nearly every organ in the body. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that smoking's dangers are limited to respiratory health, but in reality, the damage it inflicts is systemic, touching virtually every part of our physical and even mental well-being. The dangers go far beyond the lungs, and understanding the full scope of smoking's impact is essential to truly grasp the harm it can cause. Smoking does, of course, wreak havoc on the lungs. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, emphysema, bronchitis, and lung cancer are some of the more well-known risks. But what often goes overlooked is that smoking is a leading cause of cardiovascular diseases. The toxins in cigarettes damage blood vessels, increase the buildup of plaque in arteries, and force the heart to work harder than it should. This leads to a higher risk of heart attacks, strokes, and high blood pressure. Imagine your heart, the vital organ that sustains your life, Having to constantly battle against the toxic effects of smoking, it's no wonder that smoking is one of the leading causes of heart disease worldwide. The systemic impact of smoking doesn't stop there. It weakens the immune system, making it harder for the body to fight off infections and illnesses. Smokers are more prone to colds, the flu and respiratory infections, and when they do get sick, their bodies have a harder time recovering. It's like smoking robs your body of its natural defenses, leaving you vulnerable to diseases that a healthier immune system would fend off with ease. One of the lesser-known yet deeply concerning effects of smoking is its impact on reproductive health. In men, smoking can reduce sperm count, cause erectile dysfunction, and lower testosterone levels. In women, it can lead to fertility problems, complications during pregnancy, and a higher risk of birth defects. It's heartbreaking to think that smoking can take away the ability to start or grow a family, all because of a habit that can feel so hard to quit. The effects on reproductive health aren't often talked about, but there are serious consequences that can alter the course of a person's life. And let's not forget the effect smoking has on our skin and appearance. While it might not seem as severe as the internal damage, the premature aging caused by smoking can be jarring. Smoking constricts blood vessels and reduces oxygen flow to the skin, leading to wrinkles, sagging, and a dull complexion. It's as if smoking speeds up the natural aging process, leaving you looking older and more worn out than your years. For many, this visible toll on appearance is one of the first noticeable signs of the damage smoking is doing inside the body. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. The most terrifying aspect of smoking, however, is its impact on life expectancy. Studies show that smokers can lose an average of 10 years of life compared to non-smokers. Think about that, minus 10 whole years taken away. But it's not just the quantity of life that's lost, it's the quality. The years spent battling smoking-related diseases are often filled with pain, medical interventions, and a steep decline in physical and mental well-being. Smokers are not just facing an earlier death, they're often facing a diminished, less fulfilling life in their final years. And the consequences don't stop with the smoker. Smoking affects families, friends, and entire communities. The emotional toll of watching a loved one suffer from a preventable illness like lung cancer or heart disease is devastating. The financial burden of medical treatments, hospital stays, and medications can cripple families. Healthcare costs related to smoking put a strain on communities, increasing insurance premiums and creating a massive economic burden. The loss of productivity, whether due to illness or premature death, affects businesses and economies at large. Smoking's reach extends far beyond the individual, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. Yet, despite the overwhelming evidence of smoking's dangers, quitting can feel like an impossible task. Nicotine is highly addictive, and the habit of smoking often becomes ingrained in everyday life. But here's the truth, it's never too late to quit, and the benefits of quitting begin almost immediately. Within just 20 minutes of your last cigarette, your heart rate and blood pressure drop. After 12 hours, the carbon monoxide levels in your blood normalize. As the days, weeks, and months go by, your body continues to repair itself. The lung function improves, circulation gets better, and the risk of heart disease, stroke, and cancer starts to decrease. Over time, the body has an incredible ability to heal from the damage caused by smoking, and the earlier you quit, the more you can reverse that damage. Quitting smoking not only adds years to your life, but it vastly improves the quality of those years. Imagine being able to breathe deeply without coughing, waking up without the taste of smoke in your mouth, and regaining your energy and vitality. Imagine freeing yourself from the constant pull of nicotine, no longer being controlled by the need for a cigarette. These changes are life-altering, and they're within reach for anyone who decides to take that brave first step. In the end, smoking is more than just a habit, it's a life-threatening choice, with consequences that touch every aspect of our existence. It compromises our physical health, steals years from our lives, and diminishes the time we have with our loved ones. But it's not too late to make a different choice, to take control of your health and your future. Every day is a new opportunity to quit smoking, reclaim the years that might otherwise be lost, and embrace a life of health, vitality, and freedom. As we've journeyed through these 5 common habits that can deeply impact our health and well-being, it's clear that small, everyday actions have the power to shape the quality and longevity of our lives. Whether it's breaking the cycle of overeating, quitting smoking, prioritizing better sleep, shifting your mindset, or simply sitting less, each of these changes has the potential to transform not just how you feel today, but how you thrive in the years to come. Now, we want to hear from you. What have you learned from this discussion, and which habit are you going to focus on improving? Share one thing you've discovered that you'll bring into practice in your own life in the comments below. If you like this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more valuable content that can help you live a healthier, more fulfilling life. Thank you for watching.